Shoot the Puck is back again, this time from Timrå, with Finnish hockey legend, or what to call you, Olli Jokinen. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. So how does the day look like today? The day after a game, a loss?
Well, we had a 9:15 meeting, so I was here around 8 o'clock, and obviously, saw players some teaching clips and had a decent 50-minute skate. Boys had a workout, normal work day. Would have this kind of day anyways. The wins or losses or whatever the game results are, they're not gonna affect on our day-to-day things, what needs to be done, and we need to continue to get better. And teaching happens from videos, teaching happens on the ice practicing, and then the development also for the players, that it's not just on ice stuff. You need to be mentally engaged in meetings, that you can learn and you can pick things from there. That way you'll be better off on the next challenge. And the same thing goes to the workout stuff. We work out every day when we come over here, and the development needs to be there every single day. So just a normal work day.
Are you comfortable with the description as a Finnish hockey legend, or what I just called you?
Well, not really. I don't really consider myself to be a legend or anything. I had a long playing career. I've been able to stay in the game as a coach now. This is something that I've been doing all my life, being around hockey. My father played hockey, my brother played hockey, my father coached hockey, brother is coaching hockey right now. So I grew up in a hockey family, and I was privileged enough to stay in the game for a long time as a player and getting paid really good money doing that, and again privileged again that I still get to be part of the best sport in the world in my mind, and that's something that I don't take granted. I try to enjoy every day, and also remind myself every day that there's not many people in the world that they can actually say that they get to do something what they love to do since the little kid, and also make living out of doing that. So that way, I continue to remind myself and our players that how privileged we are actually doing this and staying in the game, and doing something that we all love.
But if you go back to Finland, if you're in Helsinki or which city, what kind of reception do you get from, I don't know if reception is the right word, but from people? Like, do you get a lot of attention from people when you're back home?
Yeah, but I'm kind of used to it. I don't really pay attention to that, and hockey is such a big sport in Finland, and obviously, in my case, I lived most of my adult life in North America. NHL is being followed. I never been shy guy giving the comments and stuff like that. So I think the character what I have, you can get a lot of headlines out of that, and also obviously doing the commentating now for last 5-6 years to the World Championship. So the face is on the TV quite a lot, but yes, people recognize it, but it is what it is. It doesn't really change who I am as a person. I'm just who I am, and I think it's a lot tougher the kids and family, because they've been kind of pulled into that boat as well, that they get the recognition and stuff like that. But it's part of the job as well, that we, as a player, you doing kind of, it's there is always the public view, the public opinion and stuff like that, and when you play a long time, and especially when you play for the national team level as well, and all that, so I think it's just normal.
I guess, how did you enjoy being on TV like that as an expert?
Yeah, I kind of liked it, and I have a lot more appreciation behind the TV productions and how the show is being made, and completely different view on so-called hockey experts and all that, because it's also about the show, and somebody always has to be a bad guy, and somebody's a good cop, and but it's part of the show, and so that way I kind of liked doing that, because even there, it's not like I go and try to pretend something that I'm not. I give my opinions. I'm not afraid to say what I see in the games and stuff like that. Don't really matter if it's Finland playing or Sweden or stuff like that. So I would not say that I'm a home advantage commentator or anything. You kind of pre-shows and stuff like that, I kind of like to be the guy that sticks the pointers out and be a little bit critical and looking critical view on. But then at the same time, I also try to find the positive things out of the individual plays, especially, because I have that understanding that hockey is such a fast sport, and sometimes players making bad decisions and stuff like that, so it's just there's also that human aspect behind it as well.
So if we look at the first part of the season now, and if we're gonna set like a grade on Timrå so far, 1 to 10, where would we end up?
Probably 7+, 7.5. There's been a lot of good things. Obviously the practice-wise, the way we run things day to day, meeting-wise, it's probably completely different than what the players are used to. And it's been 7 months. We kind of started end of April into May, so it's been only 7 months on this project, so there's been a lot of highs, a lot of lows as well, and I have understanding that it's gonna take time. A lot of things, a lot of new things. Some players pick up a little bit quicker. Some players, they need time to adjust. The big thing is that we can get every player up to speed and play from their backbone without any hesitation. And like I say, at times it's there, at times it's not. And the games where it's been, practices where it's been that everything comes from the backbone, we've been very successful. But then at the games that there is the hesitation and the compete level, it's not there, and all that, the mental aspect, it's not there, then we'd be in the trouble. But it's something that I expected coming into this season, and that's why the work continues, and work needs to continue day in, day out, and the bar needs to stay high, so can't let things slip away through the fingers. And big thing is that we can practice hard. That's the only way for us as a group to become successful, and that's the only way for the individuals to get better as well. It's that having that mindset that practice is very, very important, and also practices need to be harder than games. So I think that's been something new for this group and maybe for this culture as well, that the practices are harder than games.
Has anything been surprising for you with SHL coming here?
Well, I think the biggest surprise for me it's been that kind of within the rules, there's so many good players over here. That didn't surprise me. The speed of the game, the skill level of the players, it's really, really high. Every team's got 4 lines that can play. Those things didn't surprise me at all. You know, to me, this is the best league outside of NHL, with the skill wise and the depth what you have throughout the league, throughout every team, you know, and it didn't surprise me that if you have 4 or 5 passengers, it's really tough to win the game. Those things didn't surprise me at all. I knew where I was coming, but the big surprise for me it's been the rules and the crapping and clutching and holding and along the boards plays that you can put your arm around the player and there's no calls, and very limited power plays and stuff like that. So I hope there would be a change towards like how the game is being played in the international level, how the game is being played in the NHL level, you know, because if you look at this league, it's soccer scores a lot, you know. If you're able to score 3 goals, you're most likely gonna win the game, and I think it's not good for the Swedish hockey to continue to have this kind of rules, because end of the day this is the development league as well. The best league in the world is the National Hockey League, so for young Swedish players, example on the defenseman side of things, you look at it, you know, the way you defend over here, you're not going to be able to defend in North America. You're going to be in the box every single time when that hand goes to the other player's waist, and you grab the guy and you hold the guy, you know. You can deny the players in any league with the being in the skating lanes and stuff like that, take a time and space away, but anytime the stick goes to on the waistline or you grab with the 2 hands on the guy, any other league it's a penalty immediately, and over here in this league you're allowed to do that, you know. So I think that takes a little bit away from the offense, it takes a little bit away from the skill level, it takes away from the entertainment part as well. So I would like to see that this league would go to that direction that how the rules are everywhere else as well.
So that's basically what I heard in the TV4 feature story on you when you said something about a prison rule league.
Yeah, it's kind of tough way you don't really want to teach your players to defend that way, example, the wrong way, because, you know, how would you live with yourself if you tell Simon Forsmark, example, that hey, go there and grab his jersey and don't have active stick, just go there and hug the guy, you know, or any of these young guys who has that talent to maybe go overseas and play, you know. So we still teach our players to play the game the right way and all that, and but like I say, you know, it's not I'm not here to blame the referees or anything. They playing with the rules what somebody's been giving to them, and I think the coaches and sports management, the GMs, I think they need to get together and what they need, and the players. It's a players' game, you know. I think collectively everyone needs to be talking about these things if they want to make a change over here. Refs they're gonna call it the way the league allows them to call it and stuff like that, you know. So I would like to see a change from there, but then at the same time there is 14 different head coaches. There's 14 different GMs. All of them have a different opinion how the games would be played. All of them had a different opinion what the battle is. You know, I was going through these same conversations last 3 years in Finland, and it's kind of tough to go over the conversation with somebody. Example, the coach or GM who never played the game, who never played in the North America. Example that, okay, that's actually not a battle if you hold the guy on the boards with two hands and the guy can move. That is not the battle. But in some of the people view that as a battle. I don't view that as a battle. I view the battle that you go shoulder to shoulder hard. You have stick to stick battles. But I view the things like that, like if you grab the guy, that's holding in my books, you know. And Finland example, they made that rule change now after the 3 years. There was me and a few other coaches who were complaining about things, and they made that change in that league. And early in the year, there was a lot of power plays on both teams. But now you look at the Finnish league example, everyone adjusts. I went through that as a player after 2005 lockout, when we had a lock of 04 or 05, whatever season got cancelled. And after that, they made that rule change in NHL that any of those things would be called. And a lot of the game kind of speed went up, and then the guys who play that way, they kind of got weed out of the league. You know, so that way the skill level and the skating and all that became number one topic in NHL, and that was 20 years ago. You know, so they made that change over there 20 years ago, and now you look at that league example. You know, there's a lot of high-scoring games, but it's very entertaining games, and I could live with the 5-4 games. You know, I could live with the 7-6 games and all that because of you know, end of the day, I think that's what the fans want to see too, that the skill can take over, and all the work we put in with the players, the individual development, that they would have that skill, and they could use the skating, use the edges, use the cutbacks and stuff like that. But it's tough to do it if somebody always brings that rope with them and kind of ties you up with that, and you know, it takes the offense away from the game.
Do you feel like you have, like you've been talking about it a little bit, but do you feel like people agree with you, or have you got some
I don't
feedback?
think anyone agrees with me with this. You know, I haven't really talked to any of the coaches or any of that. You know, I was in that meeting early in the year, but I kind of felt that I'm an outsider. You know, obviously I'm coming over here, and I understand that too, that I'm an outsider. You know, I'm coming here and I'm taking one of the Swedish coaches' job away. You know, so that way I completely understand that none of the coaches really wanna talk to me or any of like that, and I'm fine with that. You know, it doesn't. You know, I'm not gonna lose my sleep over it.
So let's talk about the longer breaks you guys have had. Is it 2 of them now, right? 8 days, 7?
Yeah, 7 to 8 days. Yeah,
7 to 8 days. How did you came up with that idea, or where did you get that idea? Or
last 3 years we did that in Finland as well. So, you know, obviously for over there, you can only give November break off, because other breaks we would be playing. You know, I think the amount of skating, the level of practice is what we have, and the mindset what we want the players to have. That if the practices are harder than games and stuff like that, I you know, had a really good strength coach in Finland that he agree on the same things, that you know, the players need to take some time off from the ice too, because after every practice example we finish with the hard back skate. You know, that's something that it's not a punishment or anything, but there's a lot of stop and starts. 70% of the practices that we compete and battle and stuff like that, and so just the players need to get that rest off the eye, being away from the ice. They get three breaks throughout the year with that way, the longer breaks. But then at the same time, if they have 7 days or 8 days off, they have 5 to 6 workouts and bike programs top of that. So it's not like they're gonna sit on the couch and do nothing, Then at the same time, for us, every Monday, every Tuesday, if it's a 2-game week that we play Thursday, Saturday, every Monday and Tuesday we have extra practice in afternoon where the player will get about 100 plus cutbacks, 50 plus scoring opportunities, game type of situation, individual skill, rough skill training. Then if it's a 3-game week, they get that Monday extra, So counting on extras, we basically have 30 plus hours of extra player development already in the books. A lot of the players in our team, example, they've been participating there. Lundmarks, Kapanen, Oliver Johansson, Valli Walterholm. The list goes on, we have about 4 or 5 guys that they've been on every single extra practice, and you can see that development side of them, that they've been getting better, and that's top of the team practices. And then you obviously work things after the practice as well, and but a lot of the times we send players in the room immediately, because I'm a big believer on that muscle memory too, that if you do things on the ice, you need to do things with the high speed, game speed, and yes, once in a while you can do that stationary shooting, but then at the same time in the game, very rarely you're gonna be stationary anywhere and having time and space to take a shot and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons why we give it off, and also the mental side of things, that you start this basically. Okay, you got your summer training, and then from August every team starts, and then your next break is supposed to be Christmas. You get 4 days that you're not practicing. I think there's gonna be, in the mindset wise, that then you as a player you're gonna pick and choose when you're gonna go hard, and there's gonna be a lot of bad practices on that way, But now at the same time, players kind of know that, okay, we start August, okay, the first national team we get off, so they can plan something with the families, do something, make their own schedule where they're going to do their workouts. Then you grind again for like next 4 weeks, boom, all in mindset, and then you get a mindset to put your brain on the side again in the on-ice stuff way, and now basically after Christmas it's about 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks again you go until you get the next break, and time kind of like time that off from the ice, and also the mental side of things, that I'm a big believer that there's a lot of things that affects players playing, and the huge thing, it's the families and the way you can be present at home as well, not just be a zombie over there and be home, but not be engaged to your family life, and because I've been there too, I've been there, that play a lot and then you're home but you're not really there and stuff like that. So I think this really helps them to put the things in perspective as well,
When did you tell them about this? Was this earlier, like in April or May?
Immediately when we start this, this is a 4th year coaching in the pro level, doing the academy before that 4+ years. So anytime you start something, you want to be organized, you want to present the players and their families the full year schedule. You want to put the days off in the calendar, and the message was that you can earn more days off, but the days that are there already, we never gonna cancel them. Doesn't matter what the results are in the game, you know. So that way players can plan, families can plan that, especially the families can plan that, okay, we're gonna get our husband home, boyfriend home, or the parents can say that, okay, this is the time when my kid comes home, and we can plan something, you know, and do things together, you know. So it's really important for me to present the full year schedule in advance. So basically over here they got that when we start practicing, they got the schedule, and they have understanding that, okay, these are the days when we work. We need to be engaged to those work days, and there's the days that we're gonna get off.
Were they surprised?
I think the players, they kind of were asking month before the first break that, do we really have all these days off, and do we really have this break off? And I'm like, yes, it's off, it's off. But I think now, especially with the second one, they were kind of looking forward to that as well, you know, because now they also have that understanding how we do things here day in, day out.
And when you first came here, like early on, the video came out. There were a bunch of curse words, and I think the general picture of you was like a army general coming in here. But then when you talk to your players, they gave like a different side of you, of course. But how was that in the beginning when I think people really had like a one-sided picture of you, maybe as a coach, at least people around?
Yeah, it's the team. You know, we got the YouTube thing going on and social media, and you know, I'm okay with, you know, cameras can be, reporters can be in the room. I don't really care, because there's no really secrets, you know. I am who I am. You know, that's been the only time that I really have to be raising the voice, you know. And it's based on lack of effort, lack of not doing things, not valuing that game or that moment. You know, to me, the games and practices and all the things when we come to the rink has to be the most important thing in your life, that moment. And on that pre-season, on that game, we were just going through the motions. We were here because the game was in the schedule, but that's about it, you know. So then let's say I was very, very upset, you know, and but then at the same time, you know, it's also learning about the group more and all that, but it's also setting the standards that if we're really lacking and all that, you're gonna hear from me, and you know, I have also understanding that maybe you can do that one time or two times a year, and that's it, you know. Then you have to find a way to get your message across in a different ways as well, you know. But I kind of let it loose on that clip, that's for sure.
I have 13 quicker questions here. People get to know you a little bit better. What's your full name?
Olli Veli-Pekka Jokinen.
How old are you?
46.
What's your youth club?
Kalpa Kuopio.
Family?
Wife and 3 daughters.
And where are you staying here?
I'm staying here in downtown Sundsvall.
How much do you make?
Not enough.
What do you like to eat?
All kinds of food, you know. rice and chicken, but the number one spot for me, it's Guilty Pleasures in Sundsvall. Unbelievable restaurant. Very good people working over there. You know that, so that's my hangout spot over here.
That's a good spot.
Very good spot.
Have you tried the lobster roll?
Yes, I've tried everything in the menu. Smash burger is my go-to.
Oh, I haven't tried that one.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What do you like to drink?
Water, but maybe just the regular Coke once a day, once every 2 days. That's my little bit of weak spot.
Even when you were playing? Or is that
You
something
know,
that came
like
after the career?
Kind of like after the career, when I was playing, I was kind of, especially towards the end of my career, I was a health freak, and I didn't drink soda at all, you know, so that kind of started again after I quit playing.
What do you like to watch?
A lot of hockey, but also TV shows, you know. Netflix is in a good use.
What do you listen to?
All kinds of music, Finnish music mainly.
Do you read?
Not enough. I used to have that almost read one book a month and stuff like that. Now it's more of all these devices. Now you can listen to book and listen to podcasts and stuff like that. But that's something that I need to get back on. The reading is such a good thing for you, and that's something that I need to pick it up and get back on the reading on books as well.
Do you play anything or gamble or something like that? I don't know, tennis, horse racing, or
not really gambling. Tennis, padel. I played after I stopped playing hockey. Play 4 times a week tennis. I kind of stopped over here in when I moved here in August. I haven't picked up the tennis racket, but a big thing it's now to get back on that in January again. You know, I kind of needed to take a little bit of time off, you know, on that side of things as well, because I was playing a lot, about 6 to 8 hours a week, and then top of that couple times a week padel. So I was spending a lot of time in playing padel and tennis on my free time, especially when I was in Mikkeli, and that's something that need to get back on it now with the tennis part especially. That's great sport and a big passion for me.
Is there anything else you follow except a lot of hockey?
Used to follow a lot more in the soccer side of it and all that, but now it's been mainly hockey, and same thing with I'm a huge NFL fan, and it's been kind of a little bit harder to follow the NFL now, being in Europe and stuff like that. Sundays, yes, the early games coming in a decent time, but usually the Sunday nights you're so tired, and you kind of want to take, also for me the big thing is to take one day off from any sports, kind of not watching any sports, because every other day you kind of glued into that hockey and sometimes a soccer as well, the English Premier League, but a hockey mainly.
Yeah, that was the quick questions. I want to ask you, you mentioned your family a little bit, your brother playing and coaching now, and your father too, but how was it like when you grew up in Kuopio? Was it like,
well, the smaller city, you know, a lot of kids, obviously. In my time, you know, we didn't have video games, we didn't have smartphones or any of that stuff in the 80s, you know, so you would play play hockey, you play soccer. I play volleyball, tennis. Active kid. Lived in a neighborhood that a lot of kids on the same age and all that, and obviously growing up in a hockey family. My father never pushed me or my brother to be hockey players. He was more of my parents were supportive. Whatever we did, long as we stayed out of trouble, and they made sure that mom made sure that there's hot meals all the time, and they made sure that we need to do the homeworks first before we can do the activities, and had a really good childhood in that way, and like I say, a lot of different sports playing all the time, and also we didn't have a car or anything, so that way you kind of needed to be independent in ways that parents weren't driving us to the practices, so you would have to take a bus, you would go with the bicycle and stuff like that, so you really, if you didn't figure it out how to get to the practice, then you will miss the practices and stuff like that. So I think that was good as well, so we were not forced to do anything other than what we would love to do, and I think the hockey kind of made that decision age 15 that okay, now there's not really time to, or age 16 actually, that there's no time to play soccer anymore, and no time to play volleyball, and so on. So then you kind of made that decision that okay, now everything is about hockey and also hockey related workouts.
But you played different sports all the way up to
yeah,
like
it's
16,
all the way
16?
up to 16. Yes.
That's a long time, because then you were I guess you got a lot of attention in your hockey, because what is it, 2 years later you got drafted 3rd overall.
Yeah, I think it was like 16 when I started practicing with the men's team in Kuopio, and then instead of having practices or off-ice practices, example in the summer, not in the afternoon, so that way you would have it in the mornings and afternoons, so then the hockey start taking and the hockey practices start taking more time away from the summer as well, but basically before that, when the hockey season was over in end of March, early April, the hockey back went in storage unit, and you got that back in August, and the winter time you were able to play volleyball and hockey at the same time, and then summer was more of tennis and soccer, so and hockey practices top of that, off ice practices, so like I say, we didn't have phones, we didn't have video games or none of that stuff, so you kind of needed to keep yourself active as well.
It's a different world today.
Well, completely different, yes.
Yeah. So when if you look at your NHL career, you went over, you were 19, right? 1,231 games. It's a long career. But what's your if you look back at it, what's the best memories, kind of? It's 17 years, I guess it's a lot of memories, but is there anything that stands out a little bit?
A lot of highs, a lot of lows. I think when you look it back, it's about the journey you made. Kind of proud in that way that I was able to stay in the game a long time, play in the different teams, and kind of the mindset was that all you need is that one team to like you, that you'll continue to stay and you continue to get the job, and I think those were the things that you, looking back, I don't have a Stanley Cup to look back or any of that, but then at the same time I think it's that durability and kind of able to take care of yourself, and kind of went in as a kid who had no clue, and when I was done, you had your life values in order. You're married, you get the kids, you get the family to take care, and also appreciation to the game, what the game has been giving to you, and those kind of things that you grew as a person, and now as a coach you kind of try to pass that knowledge to the players in this generation, and kind of to pass that knowledge that they would not make the same mistakes and what I did. I think for me the big thing was 2008. I made a complete change on myself, how I wanted to be that guy that I don't have to sit in the bar after my career's over and use the if word, so I quit drinking 2008, and I hire a personal medical guy, massage therapist, who was with me rest of my career, really start taking care of my body, putting the everything kind of towards hockey in that way, that eating well, sleeping well, training really well, and kind of maximizing that career that was maybe okay even before, but I didn't want to be that guy that, oh, maybe I should have done this and all that. So I think with that change I definitely added a couple more years of playing time for myself, and also staying it healthy, that way, that I always had a good pain tolerance and stuff like that, but when you really take care of your body, then you're not gonna miss games pulling the groin or having a lower back pain or none of that stuff, like a small thing. So I never missed the games on those things, and that's something also that probably teams that getting a new jobs always, that the teams and management probably value that, okay, we'll get this guy, maybe we could get this guy, he's a little bit better, but let's take Jokinen because he's gonna give us 82 games, he's not gonna give us 60.
And do you ever go back to Florida? Have you been back anything after your
I haven't
career?
been back since we moved out 2021. I've been back in the US once in New York, but I haven't been back in Florida. We sold the house, and we kind of moved back as a family, with the wife and younger kid, and kind of got settled in Helsinki area now.
Because you're third overall, I think, in points in Florida still, right? After Huberdeau and Barkov. So I mean, you're a big name in that franchise.
Yeah, I guess, but I guess it also tells that there's been a lot of changes and a lot of players that just being there and being traded away and all that, So I was there for 8 years and kind of had that record for a long time, and it's kind of not necessarily showing that what I was doing. I think it showed more that there were so many changes, and it's good to see that franchise has really turned it around. Obviously that's a team that I follow. There's not many people there anymore in the organization that working that when I was there, but then at the same time, that's kind of, it was great to see them win the cup, be in the finals 2 years ago as well, and really turning things around, because there's no better place to play than Florida, because when the team is winning, the building is gonna be full, and also you get that privacy part over there that that you got your NFL team, you got your basketball team, you got your baseball team, and top of that the college sports, college basketball and college football and all that. So that way you can use the shorts and flip-flops and play golf and do other things, and it's completely different than being in Canadian market example.
And you had a lot of different haircuts over the years. The mohawk, and Sportsnet called you the Finnish Fabio when you were in Nashville.
Yeah, it's kind of. I had a kind of. I used to shave my.
You can take a break if you want.
Yeah, shave my. Shave my hair. Kind of that was. So many games and traveling all the time and practices, and I was kind of tired of fixing the hair after practice and all that. So it was just the easy way to shave it off, and then you kind of had a mohawk there for a little bit, just to not sure why, but why not, I guess. And kind of like when I was in Calgary, 2011. My kids got picked on the school from other kids. They were kind of making fun of it, that how come your dad is bald but he's only 30 years old, and how come all that. And I kind of told my kids that, okay, I'm going to prove a point now to everyone that I can actually grow hair. And after that, basically all the way towards end of my career, for last 4 years I kind of let the hair grow, and I donate the hair for the cancer patients, Locks for Love charity organization. So you always need it, that 12 inches that you can donate the hair. So that way I kind of didn't get a haircut during the year at all, and then after the season was over, got that mullet off, so on, and then let it grow for a year again. Now hair is definitely getting a lot thinner and all that, so I think this is the last year you guys gonna see me with the hair, and I think I'll be back with the really, really short bald guy coming back in the next year. I was actually thinking to do that in now during the break, but to shave everything off, but at the same time, I'm still be able to hide my baldness a little bit under the hair over there in the back, but it'll be coming off.
Yeah, I can relate to that a little bit. But actually, I talked to a few people yesterday on a dinner, and there was somebody on the table who actually talked about your back slick and said that, because there was a couple of girls with us that weren't they're not into hockey so much. So when we started to talk about the podcast I'm going to do today, then some of them told me, like, yeah, but that's the guy with the cool back slick. So maybe you should keep going.
Yeah, it'll be off, because it's quite honest, I don't. It's a working process before the game to put that hair gel on, the hairspray actually, that they can stay exact on that place that you can hide the bald spots in the back.
So on a little bit on the more serious side of things, I want to ask you, of course, about the horrible accident in Florida too. What's your memories of that today when you look back at it?
Well, I'm over it now. Obviously, it's a freak accident. We obviously still good friends with Zednik. He used to come. Obviously, he went and was able to continue the play, and we end up going to KHL. And after he was done playing, he always goes to Florida in the winter time and stuff like that. So we're playing tennis with him, and it's great to see that he has his life in order, and he was able to continue to play after the accident and all that. But in some way, we were lucky that thing happened in Buffalo, because they have number one hospital and doctors for that kind of injuries with the neck trauma and the cuts like that, and maybe somewhere else, if that would have happened, maybe he would not survive. So very, very appreciated to the work what they did over there, that they were able to save his life. But obviously looking back on things that it really affected on my game. I felt that I was left alone. NHL is a brutal business in that way, because nobody cares about your feelings that much. They just want you to get the job done and all that. And we were in a playoff hunt and all that, but obviously it took me a long time to get over that thing, and it kind of started affecting my game, especially in that year towards the last 15 plus games, whatever we had left, because then you kind of go in the situation, 50-50 situation, a little bit soft. You're a little bit afraid that, okay, how about if it happens again, like if and you kind of start worrying about the worst case scenarios all the time. And then obviously I got professional help, mental health on that, and work really hard with that side of things the rest of my career, and was able to overcome with that. But freaky accident, and all of us were in shock. But then obviously if it's your skate that hits and you look at that skate plate and it's full of blood, obviously it's we're only humans, so it affected really hard on me as well.
But did you guys get a day off or anything, or was it just straight back to?
No, straight back.
Okay.
No days off.
No, that's pretty tough.
Yes.
I mean,
and I remember, like, after the game, we didn't obviously get the information immediately that what's happening, and just straight to the plane and all that, and fly back and back at the rink next day, still really not really being that uncertainty that, okay, what's going on and how Richard's gonna be and all that, and then I think it took like a couple days that okay, he'll be okay, he'll be fine, he'll be able to continue to play. But it definitely had a huge effect on my performance the rest of the year.
If I say Henrik Lundqvist or Henrik Lundqvist, what's the first thing that comes up?
Great goalie, and made a big save on me. And a great person too.
Yeah, I mean, what do you remember from that chance and from it was obviously a big hockey moment for us in Sweden. It was.
Well, we were pressing. We were pressing. We pulled the goalie. I kind of, remember very clearly what happened. The puck was in the air. I was able to use my glove and kind of able to get that to the net front, and got the shot off where I wanted, high enough that it went over his pad. And I think it hit the shaft of the stick or something, or a little bit aside of the blocker, and it was a big save on him. Good for the Sweden, maybe if I would get a little bit higher, 1 centimeter in the side or 20 centimeters higher, it's in, but that's hockey. That's hockey, it's. We would have tied a game, and it most likely would have gone to overtime. There was not that much time left, but obviously, disappointment in that way, and because we had such a good team, such a good tournament, but then at the same time we were a little bit flat on the final game, But those are the those are the big moments that you know. Henrik is gonna remember that rest of his life with that save. You know, I also gonna remember the rest of my life that I didn't score. You know, that's how the sports go.
And I think he said in interviews afterwards or something that you kind of asked him how he made that save or something. You asked him, I don't know, was that on the ice or was that afterwards?
No, it was in the
remember?
Rangers when we were together over there.
Okay.
A few years after, 4 years after. So that was kind of the first thing what I asked him, that how the hell did you make that save? You know, obviously it was a desperation save on his part, but you know, those are the moments that you know, it goes to the history books, and you know, I was this wrong side of the history.
I don't want to drag up bad memories here for you, but you were on the ice 2003 too, right?
Yeah.
World Championship.
Yes.
That was a crazy game too.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know, like if you looking it back, you know, I've seen the highlights, but I still haven't overcome in that way that I will watch the full game. But what I remember, it was like basically the first 30 minutes. Anything we touched, anything we did was going on our way. You know, we were scoring with the very high percentages and all that, and then basically the last 30 minutes was other way around, that anything the Sweden touched went in, and you know, we were almost playing a perfect game first 30 minutes, and then it was a flop side, other way around, and you know, they found the way to win the game and all that, and maybe that was still the time that Sweden was a little bit a big brother for Finland, and a lot of history behind. Yes, 95 Finland was able to beat Sweden and stuff like that, but a lot of the times in the major tournaments, Sweden was always a little bit better and finding a way to beat Finland in the big games and stuff like that, and that's something that it's great to see now in this generation, that obviously these guys that who's playing now, they don't even know about these games, that what happened 20 plus years ago, you know, but it was a tough one, definitely. The playing in the front of the home crowd, we had a lot of our NHL guys, a lot of our top guys were there, Selanne, Koivuus and so on, you know, and Sweden the same thing, you know, they had their top guys on that tournament as well, so, you know, tough game to lose, you know, you should not lose the game when you're up by 3-4 goals, but again, wrong side of the history over there as well.
Yeah, but that, like you mentioned, there's something else has been going on the last 5 years or something. Finland wins all the time.
Yeah, they've been finding the way to win the big games, and obviously it's there's a lot bigger belief that you can beat anyone and stuff like that, you know. But then at the same time, you know, it's a one game, and it's a lot of to do with the confidence and all that, and kind of that almost a generational thing and stuff like that, you know. In my times when I was in the national team, we always value the Sweden, that they're a little bit better than us, and the mindset was that they're a little bit better, and it's no different. 98 World Championships, lost the first final 1-0 against Sweden, and the second final 0-0. But back then it was like these combined points or whatever it is. So you play the World Championship final, and the last game is a tie, and you still get the silver medal, you know. So there's like going to that 2003 example, there is that 98 memory there as well. But then at the 99, I think we were able to beat the Sweden in the semis or something, you know. So, but in my generation, we were able to get a lot of the times in the finals. But then the finals, we were kind of not where we needed to be, and getting those silver medals a few times in the World Championships.
So you guys have been good this year, and that might be the reason for. I mean, look at Filip Hollander; he's having a great year. Dahlén and a lot of players. But do you have any? I don't know if fear is the right word, but do you have any fears that you're gonna lose some of these guys now?
I hope that we lose some of the guys, because that's then they can advance in their career.
Yeah,
That's part of the hockey. That's our job as a coaches, is that these guys are going towards their dream, and they can get better contracts and they can make money and all that. It's part of the business, you know. You to me, I'm okay with that, and you know, then you can say that the job is done the job well, and the players been successful, that they can move on, and you know, these are young players, like I say with Hollander example, you know, he should be in NHL right now. So hopefully we lose him. You know, obviously it's impossible to replace the player like Ville in our lineup, but then at the same time, you know, he's an NHL player. He's the NHL player in my books, and that's where he needs to be next 10 plus years after this year.
and you and Kimmo can maybe bring some other Finnish young guys here, develop them, send them to the NHL as replacements.
Yeah, I think the goal is to bring some young Swedish players over here, you know. We don't need the Finnish guys over here. There's plenty of Swedish players over here that are really good players, and they need that opportunity to be in a good environment, opportunity to play and all that. So I'm all for that. We could get the young talented Swedish players over here and make this place to be the destination for the young players to take that next step in their career and help them go towards their dreams. You know, that's our goal as an organization, and make this place to be interesting place for the young players. You know, and not just that because I'm here, but we also have players who's been going through that journey. Pääjärvi, Lander, these guys, they've become SHL players at a young age, and they've been making a hell of a career in overseas, getting drafted and playing in the NHL, playing in the Swiss League, playing in the KHL and stuff like that. So those guys are also and will be a big help if we get some young talented guys over here to help those guys to reach their dreams.
And you signed a 2-year deal, right? Straight
Yes.
2-year deal.
Yeah.
When are they trying to renegotiate now, when everything goes as good as it is?
No, not really. I got 2+1, and
Oh, you got 2+1.
yeah, so
Okay.
I haven't really thought about that, you know. So the focus is for today, focus is for tomorrow, and that's about it.
Yeah, I know you talked a little bit about NHL maybe being a little bit of a dream job further down the road, but you feel like, I mean, it's been tough for a European coach to be able to get in. But do you think the way to do that is to be really successful over here and then go straight to NHL, or go to an organization and work your way up?
Well, I had that opportunity to go in the organization and work my way up.
Yeah.
I choose this route, and the good thing about my situation is that in NHL world, I'm doing my networking. I got a lot of people that I know over there, and they consider me as a North American more than European. So, you know, it's a different world over there. It's all about who you know, how connected you are. It's all about what kind of, do you have a experience of playing in that league? Do you have a experience about the American or Canadian culture? Do you speak language? Do you know how the NHL teams operate? So how the things are done, and what the expectations are, and how the media is, and all these. So that way. I choose to come over here and kind of took that route, that instead of being a third, fourth coach in the NHL organization, or be a coach in the American Hockey League, or coaching in USHL or Canadian Major Junior Leagues, I made this path that I'll come to Europe and work over here, and obviously stay in contact in the US, and try to develop the players. It's not so much about the winning championships. That's also something that you want to do as a coach, but I think any coach, European coach who wants the dreams, who coaches in Europe and dreams about becoming an NHL coach, there's few things that you need to be able to do. You need to know people. You need to stay in contact in the right people. You need to be able to develop players. You need to be able to push the players from your team where you work towards the NHL. Those things is what the NHL organizations value, and that's what I try to do.
You told me in September, I think, when we met, that your family is back home in Finland. Is this the first time for you that you spend so much time away from them? I know you've been a hockey player, of course, whole life traveling.
No, this is the fourth year, because in Finland as well, I coach in a different city, Mikkeli, which is 2.5 hours away. So they have an English-speaking school over there. I got a 13-year-old daughter that the English is the main language. so they stayed in Helsinki. So this is kind of the fourth year. Obviously, in Finland, I was able to go home after Saturday's game because the Sundays were off, and then obviously the off season you have more time to be with the family and all that. But obviously it's tough. It's tough not to have a normal life. It would be nice to go home now that you would be a father and you would be a husband and live the normal life and stuff like that. So that's been a tough part. There's been nights that I've been asking myself, do I really, really want to do this? Because this is not fair to my family, what they have to go through that the husband is not at home, the father is not there. It's a completely different thing to be present than being in a FaceTime and stuff like that. I'm lucky enough to have a support more from my family that I'm able to do this, because if I would not have a green light from their side, I would not be sitting here now. They know, my wife knows that how much I love the game and how much the coaching means to me and all that. So she's been allowing me to do this, but it's tough. It's really hard.
So how are you going to spend the rest of your day?
Today, maybe I go Söderberget Spa. That's my other spot that I go a few times a week. So no plans, or go for a walk, but try to get some fresh air. It's such a indoor sport what we do, and a lot of hours at the rink, and you don't get the daylight at all. So probably get a good lunch and go for a walk and maybe hit the night spa tonight and watch some hockey later on.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank you.